It's got a small 14 millimeter capsule. Capsule is the word. What's up YouTube? Welcome back. My name's Tony. So a couple weeks back I did a review of the Maono AU-PM 421 USB microphone. Now, I've really come to appreciate USB microphones in the last little while for doing things like this, making these YouTube videos. Because in the past, I faced the challenge of when I was trying to record my voice as well as show examples on my studio computer of work that I was doing or gear reviews or whatever, I had to run the microphone that I was using to pick up my voice into a different interface on a different computer so that recording that wouldn't interfere with what I was trying to show you guys. So after reviewing some of these USB microphones that I have reviewed in the past, I realized it would be a lot easier to just use one of these USB microphones and plug it directly into my phone, which I'm using to film these things anyways. So that's what I've been doing. In fact, since I released that last Maono video, I've been using their AU-PM 421 mic to capture my voice for these videos. So anyways, after I did that video, Maono contacted me again to ask if I'd like to review their new product, the Maono Fairly Lite Microphone. It's another USB microphone, and it looks like it's very much geared towards podcasting or having on your office desk for video calls or little things like that. So you could consider this a sponsored video because Maono did send me this microphone. They told me I could keep it afterwards, but all views and opinions expressed in this video are mine. So anyways, let's check this thing out. The Maono multifunctional USB microphone for home and office studio. So just like the AU-PM 421 that I reviewed a little while ago, the frequency response chart on this one seems to be pretty far from flat, pretty darn wavy. Now that didn't really seem to affect my enjoyment of that microphone, so I won't judge that too critically. I will, however, put a picture of that frequency response up there. It's probably already been there. Anyways, it says it's got a maximum SPL of 110 decibels, frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. It's got a small 14 millimeter capsule. It's got sample rates of up to 48 kHz at 16 bits. Now this mic also has a headphone jack on the back, so you can monitor what you're saying directly from there. Now I wonder if that also gives playback from what we would be recording. I guess we'll have to find that out. Anyways, let's dig into this thing. Alright, so in the box we get an informational card there. Got our user manual. Got our microphone, which is smaller than I expected it to be, and it's already up on its stand, and a box that just says accessory, which I'm imagining is our USB cable. Yep. Alright, so we got a USB-C to USB-A cable to connect this thing, and as is somewhat typical with USB mics, the cable is very short. We've got a 1 meter cable here. For this one especially, I think that's to be expected. I mean, this is meant for office use, so chances are you're going to have a laptop on your table or, be able to plug in USB to the back of your computer monitor or, something. It's not expecting you to have to reach very long. However, for this example, I'll need to use a USB extender cable because my computer is sitting on the floor. So yeah, pretty simple contents of the box. Let's see what this mic's like on its own. So, taking the microphone off the stand, I mean, the stand actually feels more robust than the microphone does. It feels like it's made out of plastic. The knobs they're alright, but this thing itself feels pretty light, as opposed to the other mics I've tried from this company, which feel a whole lot more robust than this one does. I think the stand is actually heavier than the microphone is. So I guess let's just plug this thing in and see how easy it is to set it up. Now, before we jump into actually testing this microphone, please take a second to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell down below. That really helps to support the channel and helps me to want to make more great videos for you guys. If you'd like to support the channel a little bit further, there's a link you can follow down in the description there to buy me a coffee. Okay, so I've got this microphone set up. It was very easy to set up. Just plug and play as it advertised. Originally I had this plugged in through a USB extender cable because the cable is fairly short and my computer is down on the ground. But I was getting a weird high frequency feedback interference kind of thing, a digital noise in the headphones. I checked and that wasn't actually recording onto the tracks, but when I bypassed that extender cable, it went away. So the neat thing about this microphone is that it doubles as an audio interface. So you can monitor how you sound and what you're saying at the same time as getting playback from what's going on in your DAW, all in the same unit, which is very convenient, especially at a $60 price point. Now, quality-wise for this microphone, it seems to have a pretty high noise floor. and it seems to pick up pretty much anything that's happening in my room. The off-axis rejection is not really, well, actually it's not bad there. You can hear kind of a very direct sound when I'm looking right at it, and then as I move away it does get pretty quiet. However, there doesn't seem to be a hell of a lot of difference in, the rejection from behind the mic as in front of the mic. So it's advertised as a cardioid mic. I don't know, it seems kind of omnidirectional. There's not a lot of rejection from anywhere, really. So if you're looking to get this mic and you're in a noisy office or something, it might not be the right microphone for you. So the microphone itself is pretty straightforward. There's two knobs on the front. One is your microphone volume and the other is your headphone volume. On the back you've got your USB output as well as a headphone output. The volume knob has a green light that lights up when there's power to the microphone, and if you press that volume knob it mutes the signal and that light turns red. Now normally when I do these reviews I would take this microphone and see how it works for audio production, but seeing how this one is very clearly designed to be just a desktop thing and for voice and podcast and YouTube, whatever, I don't think I'm going to do that today. I feel like right away it would just be an inconvenience to try and position this in front of an acoustic guitar or anything like that, so we'll skip that today. In listening back to this microphone, I think the quality is pretty decent. Again, for like a $60 microphone that's also an interface. However, in the low end, there seemed to be a massive spike of frequency around the 120 hertz region, making everything down there just very, very woofy and resonate-y and all that. I left this microphone just as it was. I tried not to change the sound of it for this review so it can be an accurate review. However, going back into these files just to experiment, I EQ'd out a very narrow frequency notch at 120 or 126 hertz, which seemed to clean the microphone up quite a bit. Oh, and I should also mention that I tried that as well with this microphone not sitting on the box on my mixing board. I thought the box might be contributing to some of that resonance in some way, but it didn't really make much of a difference whether it was on the box there or just directly on my mixer. So yeah, it can be fixed with a little bit of EQ if you can be bothered. So upon editing this video, I thought I'd come back on camera and mention one more thing. Because this microphone isn't actually on a shock mount, any little bit of contact with your desk gets picked up by this microphone, which I think is a pretty bad design flaw for something that's made to be desktop. Like if I were to just very gently tap my desk over here, or over here, or even on the console, I mean that's not even enough force to push down one of these buttons. You can hear it on the microphone like I'm kind of hammering on this thing. So even if I were to type something out on this computer, like you can hear that pretty clearly. I really don't know if there's something they could redesign internally on this microphone to help with that, being that it's meant to be a desktop microphone, or if that's just because of the lack of a shock mount. But either way, it's not really a great trait for a desktop microphone. So what are my final thoughts on this microphone? Well, it's got a few things going for it. It's a very small footprint on your desk, which I was excited for. It's an all-in-one interface microphone monitoring system, so you don't need an extra interface. You don't need speakers as well as your headphones or anything. So it is really all you need to get started. However, the lack of a shock mount and that weird low frequency bump that kind of muddies everything up, as well as the bad off-axis rejection and high noise floor, I really can't recommend this microphone even for what it was designed for. The cons outweigh the pros in a very big way, and especially when for an extra $20 you can get their AU PM421 microphone. Small footprint is great, not great enough to overlook the shortcomings of the microphone as a unit. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and would like to see more content like this, hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can follow the link down in the description to buy me a coffee. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.